Building Bridges to the Future Foundation launched in 2005 in response to the Asian tsunami that devastated Aceh province, Indonesia. On Sunday morning, December 26, 2004, an underwater earthquake in the Indian Ocean off the west coast of Aceh set into motion one of the most catastrophic natural events in recorded history. The energy from this quake, the second largest ever recorded, resulted in an ocean wave 30 meters high, traveling at the speed of a commercial jet. While the tsunami claimed 230,000 lives in 11 countries, 170,000, nearly 75% of all victims, were from Aceh. Survivors saw their families wiped away, their homes obliterated, and their farmland destroyed by millions of tons of sand and salt, left with nothing but the clothes they were wearing at the time. This sparked one of the greatest international humanitarian efforts ever. Thousands of aid workers descended upon the region to deliver over $5 billion worth of assistance, donated by governments, community organizations, and families from around the world. Much of the international relief focused on Western Aceh. Sarah Henderson, a native New Yorker who was living and working in the region for over 15 years, traveled to Banda Aceh, the capital of Aceh province. Seeing the very active relief effort in Aceh's most populous city, Sarah decided to explore remote areas of the tsunami's ravaged west coast.
It's only 5.5 years since the massive earthquake off Indonesia triggered a tsunami that killed around 230,000. We sent Matt Brown into one of the worst affected areas, Aceh province, to investigate what happened to the reconstruction effort once the spotlight of world interest was switched off.
In a busy fish market in Banda Aceh, the catch is in and business is brisk. Once again, the sea sustains this place. On a day like this, it's hard to imagine that just 5 years ago, the sea raised settlements up and down the coast and almost wiped Banda Aceh off the map.
Ala bangkan lupuna ala pengpa ala tam tum lagi untuk gede tum bum mengya ala tu ngkeng that tu tiga lagi tu bom gudung tiga keng that botuhan ali botuhan ala bago tsunami.
Terrifying force, the tsunami smashed its way inland, flattening vast tracts of Aceh and killing more than 170,000 people.
Tsunami lah dijak kan kampung tu kayak keram ni pada kayak airnya gulung aja, gulung dibegat gelombang. Ibu gelombang dari likut kamu gelombang laju, gelombang hitam kaya di gelombang. Alah bantu kena, tu kamu di jalan ni peluang, lah siap ialah ya, tapi penuh anak mandu, tinggal pusat rumah tu.
It was just so horrible, and I would think about the families, the people who might have been here, and there was just nothing left, nothing. It's hard for me to believe I had seen what I had seen before, because it's all so different now.
Sarah Henderson's a retired merchant banker based in Jakarta, who first came to Aceh just a month after the tsunami struck.
It was just nothing. I mean, all this was nothing. You have to think to yourself that this water here came up 30 feet high, moving the speed of an airplane. most of those people's eyes were dead. I mean, they just looked to me like the walking dead. Oh, God, it was terrible.
Across Aceh, 400,000 people had been left homeless, and in this village, little was left standing. So this grandmother, then a sprightly 65, raided her retirement savings and hatched a plan to help the villagers rebuild.
They were in tents in the mud, and parts of the tents were hanging down, and there was garbage all over, and it was horrible. It was just horrible.
Sofyan and his wife Rose escaped with their lives, but lost everything else. Their baby girl, their house, their family and friends.
Pas kami naik ke atas gunung, jadi kita tengok ke desa kita udah laut semua. Maksudnya pasir kan, masih berair sikit-sikit itu. Jadi udah bukan anak lagi, udah terpikir sama keluarga semua.
There seemed little hope until the arrival of a complete stranger. With Sarah Henderson's help, Rose and Sofyan built a new home. Eventually, they'd start a new family.
Saya merasakan nikmat dari tsunami setelah Ibu Sarah masuk ke desa kami. Jadi pas Sarah datang, Sarah program untuk membuat rumah. Jadi kita sudah dapat titik terang.
Sarah Henderson quickly learned that providing aid in a meaningful way calls for careful management and plenty of consultation.
I think the biggest lesson I learned was to listen. We think our own culture is so great, we try to impose it on other people. When I was designing the houses, I thought, oh, how great, I'll give them an inside bathroom, I'll give them an inside kitchen, oh, this is going to be wonderful. And when they saw the plan, they were horrified. And they said, no, 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 no. They didn't want the bathroom inside. They didn't want the kitchen inside. And so I think listening is very, very important.
As the enormous and chaotic aid effort rolled out, something else dramatic and fundamental was emerging. This, after all, was a place riven by a 30-year civil war, with separatists trying to wrench Aceh from Jakarta and Jakarta fighting hard to hold on. But it was becoming clear that the tsunami that had done so much damage had also washed away the war.
The tsunami, had alerted the people of Aceh that this is the only chance for better life, for peace, for the Acehnese.
The disappointment is palpable in places like this, a coffee shop frequented by Sofyan and his friends. He joined the rebels when he was barely a teenager. Now the men who agreed to swap weapons for jobs say they're still waiting.
Seutuhnya, bukan kayak gini lagi. Kalau sekarang belum apa itu. Masih kita dijepit-jepit gitu, belum bebas sepenuhnya gitu, cuma gini aja yang bebas.
They say foreign aid hasn't made an enduring difference. They feel duped by the Indonesian government, and worryingly, the talk here is about going back to war.
Mereka lakukan kalau di pihak pemerintah belum ada, yang dilakukan untuk mantan-mantan kami itu belum ada. Yang ada cuman yang dari mana? Dari NGO lah yang ada. Kalau dari pemerintah memang nggak ada.
How close are you to going back to the hills and fighting?
Saya rasa kalau untuk keadaan yang seperti ini, kalau sekarang, itu kemungkinannya bisa mencapai di atas 50%. Karena kita mungkin sekarang dalam keadaan mau dijebak, begitu. Jadi apabila kita udah terjebak dengan keadaan, bisa saja.
What most people want to do here is simply get on with their lives. It might not look like much, but Akmal Shukri and his friend Gunawan Abdul Manaf are building a new life here.
Kamu merasa saboh panggilan jiwa untuk kamu bergerak yang lagi menopang demi keberhasilan di dalam kerja kitanya.
These goats are called PE goats. They
And back down the coast, near the village of Rumput, Sarah Henderson's fostering a rural project as well. Aceh's first goat milk dairy.
These were all born here. All the new goats that are in there are pregnant.
Good for business, I guess?
Yes, it is good for business. And they're so cute. Oh, don't say that.
NGO lain misalnya, NGO lain memberi bantuan. Tapi Ibu Sarah ini sambil memberi bantuan, dia mendampingi kita. Tidak seperti NGO lain setelah memberikan bantuan, orang itu pergi.
I think that what is desperately needed is long-term sustainable projects. Train people, get them on their feet, get them where they can earn their own living. And you can't do that in a month, a year, 2 years. You just can't.